Wait a minute, wait a minute. Think we should be. Yes, it's on YouTube now. Okay, well, I think hello everyone. Good evening in Asia and good afternoon in Europe and good morning to Christine. Hello, how are you, Christine?
I am at last warm. It's going to be 30 degrees later. I'm in Florida. It's absolutely fabulous. And happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day to you and happy Valentine's to everyone. I wish this word of love. This is what we really need at this moment.
We certainly do. We certainly do. This has been quite an experience, Rod, because I'm watching American news, right? Now, I know you
Yes.
can't trust any news. I know all of that. But even so, it's absolutely breathtaking, right? The speed at
Yes.
which things are happening, right? And of course, we knew on that chart for the inauguration. Do you remember the one with the big
Yeah,
square in it? Yeah.
it's great.
And of course,
Yes.
it's not finished yet, because that Mars Chiron is coming. It's coming in and out and in and out, right?
Mhm.
And when Mars comes back to 19 Cancer, which it does, it's got to do twice more.
Yeah.
Um, that's a critical financial degree, and obviously that's what I'm focused on, right? And I'm
Yeah.
looking that plus Neptune and the node in Pisces, a
Yes.
naughty eclipse on the horizon. And this is well, we're going through what are we going through? We're going through a not very nice time.
Pretty
Having said
scared to
that,
be honest.
well, do you know what? I've really been giving this a lot of thought because I don't think I've ever been as busy client wise because, of course, everybody is concerned. And particularly here, there is a fear of how their information is being used, how their money might be
Yes.
accessed, what's going to happen to Social Security, to Medicaid, and whatever. So I've been trying
Yes.
to find something that's really positive to say. And, and
Yes.
I found something. Rod, I'm just going to I need you to see my proper background. Let me see if I can do
Yes.
this. Um, I have to go into the video bit. Oh no, I have to put the
Yes.
video back on, and I want to just change the background to right now. Can you see now, Rod? I am
Oh my God.
absolutely surrounded. Right. This is only one of 5 rooms that are full of books. Right. I mean, this is just extraordinary. Anyway, I mean, and so because I'm researching the new book, I'm
Yeah.
absolutely spoilt for choice of, what to look at. But there's one book that I wanted to show everybody, which is just amazing. This is Kathy Allen's book. I think it came out last year or maybe the year before, the Working with
Yes.
Midpoints book.
Yes.
And if you don't have it, it actually should be almost like compulsory reading for everyone. It's superb. I mean, Kathy's a
Wow.
phenomenal researcher for a start. But do you remember we had Working with Astrology, Mike Harding and Charles Harvey's book?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
this follows on from that, and it's just wonderful because there are so many stories and some really good studies in it. But anyway, this book had virtually fallen off the shelf at me, right? And I couldn't resist it. And of course, I'm a bit preoccupied now because, of course, although everybody's talking about the Saturn Neptune,
Yes.
we've got to remember that they're meeting exactly on the midpoint of Uranus and Pluto. And so
Oh
it's
yes.
and they're going to be there for it's the best part of a year. They're floating in and out. And I thought,
Mhm.
this is what's this going to do to our brains? Because I mean, we know that we're speeding up anyway, and you can
Yeah.
say it's AI, you can say it's whatever, but
Yeah.
actually, this is happening internally too. So I was
Mhm.
thinking about the quickness of Uranus in Gemini, the depth of
Mhm.
Pluto in Aquarius, put those
Yeah.
together, and then put Saturn and Neptune in the middle. And and there will be times every month because it's like there's a trine between the Uranus and Pluto, two
Yeah.
sextiles, right? And then
Yes.
every month for quite a while, the moon will make it into a kite, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
we're all of us, whatever your chart is, we're all of us going to be flying kites for the next 18 months, you know? So what kind of
Mm.
kite do you want to fly? So that's where I'm at. I don't know whether or not I've got heat stroke or what I'm at, but that's what I'm preoccupied with, right? And I'm wondering, of course, you know, what's going to happen to this amazing country. When I did the first book, I thought we would see the collapse of the USA in this
Mm-hmm.
decade, in the 2020s, and I think we're
Mm-hmm.
beginning to see that now.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
this first quarter of 2025 is decidedly ugly. I think
Mm-hmm.
the harder date is in August when
Mm-hmm.
Mars opposes the Saturn Neptune.
Yes.
You know, again, but on that midpoint, you know, so the kite is really like full on at that point. And are
Yes.
we going to have some kind of mass demonstrations? What are we going to have? Or are we going to see a couple of states say, that's it, I've had enough, I'm leaving the union? You,
Ooh.
it's all there to play for. But I think kites are about dreams, but flying dreams. And we have to get,
Mm-hmm.
I think each of us has to get skilled at flying a kite, flying your idea, let your idea go off. I've done all the
Mm.
talking so far, Rod. Don't just nod your head. I know you're in the evening there, but you have to say something to me.
Well, to be honest, I'm pretty like a couple days ago, I wrote something and then Lin Bell, our dear friend Lin Bell, sent me an email saying, I feel the same. So about we are expecting the change of 2025, but we are not ready like that. We are just like we know the change is coming up, but the change is coming up like this. We just like, oh my God, am I really ready for that?
Yes, it's breathtaking. I read in one of these other amazing books here, somebody in the 1990s, I think his name was Meese,
Hmm.
Meece, his horoscope for the
Hmm.
new millennium. And he was saying this, remember, he was writing this 25 years ago, right? And
Uh-huh.
he was saying he thought the USA would experience another Boston Tea Party event this quarter. I mean, like,
Wow.
you know, astrology is brilliant. We can actually
Indeed.
look ahead. So yes, this is not very pleasant now, but if we know the kite is coming, if we know that we could be full of good ideas, then we could
Mhm.
go. I don't know. I don't really understand what this word spiritual means, but I do think that we are going to another level, whatever that means as well. Right?
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
we're if if I think anything, if I think that we're all like radio receivers, then I think we
Yes.
could be doing some amazing cosmic download. Not
Mhm.
Microsoft fashion, by the way, right? Not Microsoft, you
Or
know,
not Elon Musk's way, you have
no,
a
no,
chip in
none of
your
that.
head.
But I think we could have, you know, a massive cosmic download in the next
Mm.
18 months. And
Mhm.
maybe those of us who know it's coming, it's on the brink, we could carve space out each day to let it come
Mhm.
in. You know, because you
Mm.
know when I mean quite literally, you know, when you do have to update flipping Microsoft, you know, you
Yeah.
can't do anything whilst it's doing it. You know,
Mhm.
you got to go off and have a
Yeah.
coffee or something else. So I think we need to make the space for the download.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I've been looking at that. But yes, I am anxious about lots of things. Do you remember? I mean, I got something. Well, I think I got it wrong, but maybe I got it right. I don't know. But do you remember December the 6th? I was concerned about Mars was stationing at 6 Leo, and that was picking up like when we'd had the Pearl Harbor um,
Yeah. Oh,
incidents,
yes.
and you know there were a whole load of major incidents for the American Navy then. But of course, I got to remember Mars hasn't finished with that yet. You know,
No,
Mars
no.
will be
Mhm.
back at 6 Leo in May,
Yeah.
and maybe all of this is still brewing. And I see there was a naval incident yesterday, I think. So
Yeah.
you know, it's hanging that one's hanging in the air. Um,
There are few things happened last couple of days. I think in Sweden, right, there is attack also in the US, a massive attack, and also Taiwan yesterday, just after full moon has a explosion in central of Taiwan. and well, it's a massive in department store, and that was quite shocking. Yeah, that was quite shocking. And then when I was I was in a holiday mood, so I didn't really check a lot of chart, but I aware because I was checking the uh, full moon chart, and then I realized that Mars was right on MC and the Chiron on descendant.
Wow. And I mean,
That was
it was such a naughty full moon, with Uranus
yes,
exactly
with
square
Uranus.
it, you know. Um, the other thing I was going to say was about Uranus, when Mr. Trump announced the tariffs. Do you remember,
Yes,
And
yes,
he did that just as Uranus stationed, and
yes.
I mean, it was a mega station at 23 Taurus, absolutely
Mm,
mega. And, the reverberations of that, it was no real surprise that yesterday, well, the full moon, Wednesday, was just so shocking with even more outbursts. I'm afraid I didn't know
mm,
about the Taiwan thing, but I've been
mhm.
reading about all sorts of incidents and also
Yeah,
hearing from clients. A very precious client who'd become very ill at the December full moon and scraped by through January, but was hit again in February with that. The Uranus effect is a sudden destabilizer.
yeah.
It was amazing. It was yet another lesson in how Uranus can hit you from where you least expect it. In fact, the one good thing about Uranus is that you can worry about Uranus transit so much and you're sure you know
Mm.
exactly what it is. And as soon as you know what it is, it won't be that, because you just ruled out
Yes, that's
it's
what I was thinking.
which is great. Yeah. On that full moon, so I was here, I was recovering from jet lag. And as I said,
Mhm.
I'm surrounded by these, thousands of books and spoilt for choice. But it was extraordinary how the books that wanted me found, or that I wanted rather, how we found one
Yeah.
another. There was one in particular that was really tightly packed into the shelf. And Yvonne hadn't been able to pull it out because it was so tight.
Hmm.
My fingers are really bad.
Hmm.
They're pretty damaged with typing and what have you. But I went to it, and for me, it just came out, and it just had exactly the thing I was looking for. It was
Wow.
extraordinary. So it was the upside of Uranus is the delight of that. But the other
Definitely.
thing I
Yes, I
wanted to
think,
talk to you,
yeah.
yeah, I wanted also to talk to you about Mexico,
Oh, Mexico.
because
Yes.
there you go. Because 2 weeks on Sunday, I'm doing a talk for Astro Mexico. I can't remember how
Mm,
awful, right? Okay. Anyway, I'm doing it by Zoom. But I have quite a few Mexico clients, so I'm usually tuned into their chart anyway.
yeah.
And if you use their geodetics for Mexico, they have
Yes.
17 degrees of Pisces rising on the geodetic
Mm,
chart.
wow.
And just when, do you remember Mr. Trump put the tariffs on
Yeah.
at the end of January, just as Saturn was getting to their geodetic ascendant,
Oh,
and then
yes, indeed.
their president goes, but of course it's a real Saturn thing, right? I'm not negotiating. That's it. That's yeah, go back. And put a stay of execution on for a month. But I wonder what's going to happen because when the month is up, we are then going to
Yeah.
be very close to the lunar eclipse of March the 14th,
Yes.
which
Yes.
incidentally is at right angles to Mr. Trump's sun moon opposition, right?
Yeah.
So it's one full moon against another full moon, but the full moon that's coming will have Saturn square his sun moon
Hmm.
axis. So
Yes.
I can't help but wonder if the cosmos isn't going to say a great big no to him. Um, I wonder whether or not the seeds of that were shown last night when these 6 prosecutors decided to resign rather than continue.
Yeah.
Honestly, you don't know whether or not you're watching real news or a soap opera. It's just Elon Musk in the White House with his child on his shoulders, and yeah, it's
Yeah.
wow. This is not the West Wing. It's
No, it's Big Brother.
it's it's really, but maybe we have to go through this dark tunnel to come out the other side. I don't know. You
Mhm.
know,
I don't
I,
know.
I,
We really don't know. But well, what we can do is, as astrologer, I think for last couple months, I was really kind of thinking a lot of things, and I love mundane astrology, and I keep thinking this word is not what I know before, and it's pretty scared, to be honest, pretty scared. Then I found this book, to be honest, it fly with me,
oh, I can't.
called
The places that scare. Oh, wow,
The Place That
wow.
Scared is written by a very famous spiritual leader called Pema Chodron. And it's
Uh,
a very, very interesting one message, one key message. When this tough time scare us, we keep our mind open and our kindness open.
Do you know, and something that struck me as well, Rod, is I don't know if you've seen it. I think it's on Instagram, whatever, but they're showing, how they're saying that the African continent is going to split. Right?
Uh-huh.
So there's going to be a sixth ocean comes up. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to happen tomorrow, but the
Of
spirit is
course, no.
happening. Right? But part of the talk I'm doing for Mexico is I want to show how borders are continually shifting. We tend to
Mhm.
think that they're fixed, that a country
Yeah.
is going to stay that name, that particular area for that
Yeah.
amount of time. But history
Hmm.
shows that borders are constantly, it's a fluid, everything is
Hmm.
fluid. So, which goes a long way to explain why you have to deal with so many charts for any
Yeah.
one geographical area, right? You
Yeah.
can't say, well, that began in 18 whenever, because it was there for thousands of years before, right? But you have a whole sequence of charts, and it's interesting to see how the sequence works and how a
Yes.
degree can be so important for one region. Right? And
Yes.
and I think about this a lot because of the whole Gaza region. It just
Hmm.
I years ago I had an amazing Bible which sadly I've lost, but at the in time. But the back of it had a whole series of maps of the Middle East, but they went
Hmm.
back like thousands of years, but showing how those borders there and the names of the countries have been in continual state of flux. Right? It's very hard for me to imagine a United States of Gaza, right?
Hmm.
But he says he wants that
Yeah.
piece of land, and it does, you're right. It just seems that we are in this amazing state of flux now. And just as
Hmm.
happened at the beginning of the 19th century, when so many countries came into being, I think we're
Yeah.
now part of this new thing, this Saturn Neptune
Yes.
on that midpoint will be the
Yes.
emergence, as the kites fall in and out of
Hmm.
shape. Um, I I think we will see borders shift, which is why I was looking at Mexico and the
Yeah.
United States, because
Yeah.
for so long California was, well, and even
Yeah.
now is
Was there?
included
Yes.
was Mexico. So I've often when I was working for one Mexican guy, and I've been working for him for about 20 years, but very early on, I said I thought that the Mexican border would change during our lifetime. And he said, "Oh, it won't
Hmm.
happen." But I can see it now. I can,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
you don't need the border wall if you don't have that border.
Yeah.
That's
True.
it. It's an answer, isn't it? But
Yeah.
maybe an ugly one. Yeah. So what are
to
you
to be
up to
honest, yes.
next? What are you up to next?
What I'm up to next, I'm ready to go back to London, but before London, I will have a little bit stop over in Tokyo. I know you would love it. I know you would
I
love
would
it.
love that. Listen, I'm going to delay my trip back because I'm telling you, until the sunshine hits London, I'm done with that.
You have
Yeah.
to because we have so many events going on, and there is one right involve both you, me, and our friend Tanya and Leanne and Keenan.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to meet on the midpoint, aren't we, between Florida
Yeah,
and Taiwan? We're going to meet in Istanbul, which is
yeah,
just it's just fabulous because I did the conference there a couple of years ago with Ona
yeah,
Dosa.
yeah,
And I mean, what a magical city. But, the astrology I mean, I came back with my head really spinning from that. So I can't wait to be
yeah.
doing again. It's really wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So this time Keenan invite us, and then I was there last year. I was there last year in Istanbul, and then they want me back because they say, I want you to talk about Comet. Oh, okay, cool. So I will
Wow.
talk about Comet. Yeah, I will talk
Yeah.
about Comet in this conference. I think it's in the mid of May, from 16 to
No, it's in the
uh
middle of June. It's June. We got to go in the right month.
June. That's why,
June.
mid of
Yes,
June. Sorry, I
yes.
apologize. It's the middle
Yeah,
of
no, we're
June.
going. We're going.
Thank you for
We're
correcting me. It's
going
too
in.
late.
No,
It's
we're
a
definitely
yeah,
going in
it's
June. Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
in June. Yeah, in June. It's from 13th of June to the 15th of June. I apologize to Keenan and the Keenan's friends. They organized so hard. They are organized this, and we really looking forward to be there with all the astrologer from the world.
It's going to be absolutely magical because Leanne's coming too.
Yeah, Leanne's coming too.
Yeah.
Leanne's coming too.
And
Yes.
I haven't read her book yet. So that's another one
Oh,
on my list.
Juno.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Juno. Yes. I love because she's I mean first time to be honest, last time I met her and she was going to talk about Juno and I went to her talk about so my first time I met her. She was talking about the Juno with Afghanistan and as a Juno as the role of a protector and the right of protector. I would think wow, fascinating. Really. Since then, I always work with her. Also, I don't really use Juno and series in in the chart, but she's a fabulous, especially apply Juno in the in the mundane astrology.
Well, absolutely, absolutely tremendous. And I also I wanted to say to you, if you haven't looked, please go onto the Astrology News Service
Yes,
website
I was thinking of that.
because Sue Keents has done a fantastic couple of articles about the Trump presidency and what's happened. I mean, it's absolutely up to date what she's got on there. Brilliant
Oh,
writing,
cool,
absolutely. You know, if I could
cool.
write like that, I would be thrilled. Really, absolutely fantastic.
Definitely. Yeah, last time when you after you mentioned that I went to see the astrology news agency and that article is so beautiful and it's so nice. I'm going to write a short article very soon for this
Please,
website soon.
please,
Yeah,
please,
definitely.
we would love one about Taiwan. You know,
Oh yes.
because
And
you know
I will
that
ask,
would be yeah.
yeah,
We
couple
just need
days
to get
ago,
more.
yeah, sorry about keep cutting you off. Sorry. A couple days
Okay.
ago, I had an interview with Brian Fong, our friend, and he did a quick study about the Japan because there's a rumor about the mega earthquake in Japan. They've been talking about this for since last year. So he did a quick research. So
Yeah.
I will push him to put this as an article for you.
That would be really good because the other guy is Jagdish in
Hmm.
the United States. He does some very good work on earthquakes as well. I'm you know I was at fault with this as well. I honestly thought that that Japanese earthquake might happen last year, the eclipse last year. Do you remember the
Yeah,
October one in that window
yeah,
there
it
between
was.
September and
Yeah, yeah.
October? But it's possible that it will actually be July
Hmm.
when we get the first quarter moon that picks up the same degree. So it could be,
Yes.
but absolutely, I would agree with anyone that it's a very vulnerable thing. But here, of
Hmm.
course, they've had the earthquakes in California. You know,
Yes,
well,
yes.
many, the earth is
Yeah.
definitely on the move. Did you read, by the way, that they've done a study about the Earth's core and it's not the shape they thought it was?
Yes, it's a square.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Well, I'm not sure if it was a square to me, but
They
it
say
certainly
it's not
wasn't
a round.
round.
It's not circle. It's not round.
It's
Yes.
not. Yeah. So that's all. So the Earth is changing, and when I do the talk, oh my God, when is it? Is it 3 weeks time? The one in Orlando.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm doing a thing about the solar cycle, but showing how the sun's behavior has changed, but so to the impact that's had on the planets is it's considerable. Where
Hmm.
Venus is brighter, that Mars is ice caps are melting. I and is it's what's the Pluto one? They I can't remember now, but it's the natrium on the moon has increased phenomenally, and the
Hmm.
atmospheric pressure it is on Pluto that's altered. And now, of course, we're hearing that our Earth's core is affected.
Yeah.
So something is definitely going on up there. I mean, it's always going on up there, but there's something more dramatic than usual going on up there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will be there to listen to your comet talk.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Going
So
to be fun.
I will look forward to that very much.
Thank you. And what are you going? Do you know what you're going to talk in Istanbul? Do you- Oh, we will talk
Look, I
about
don't
next
even
time.
know. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about this afternoon. No, no, I I'm stuck. I haven't quite got my title right. I
Okay.
think it's
Okay.
going to be something like World in Chaos or World in
Okay.
Crisis. Something like some big catch-all so that I can take it
That
anywhere I like.
definitely, we definitely
Um,
need a talk related to that.
I mean, I might veer towards the geodetics. I don't
That would be
actually want to
lovely.
talk about the chart for Turkey per se,
Yeah.
right? But I think we really need to talk about that part of the world.
Yeah. That would be
Um,
lovely. That would be lovely. Yeah.
so anyway, no, I haven't, and I will get back to him. I promise. Thanks.
Yeah. Why? Before we finish, I heard about you have a new YouTube
Oh
channel.
my
You
God.
put
Right.
it
Okay.
on your newsletter. So I
Right.
want to
Okay.
invite everyone go
Well,
to
can I?
subscribe. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So I got this new assistant, Julie. Right.
Yeah.
And Julie is not an astrologer. Can we be absolutely clear? She is not an astrologer, right?
Hmm.
We've never
Okay.
met face to face. But what is extraordinary is that she was recommended, and then I discovered her birthday is 2 days after my daughter's, right? So whereas
Okay.
my daughter has the moon in Cancer, Julie has the moon in Leo, as if you didn't know, because now she's got me plastered all over everything. So I've now got Instagram, I've got YouTube. Apparently, I've got
Yes.
something called Linktree, which I didn't even know what that was. But anyway, she's explained that
Okay.
to me today. So she's absolutely on my case. I have to give a YouTube thing each week. Um,
Ooh.
I'm finding it slightly uncomfortable at the moment, but I'll get into the stride. What I decided yesterday was to say to people, listen, why don't you ask a question and then I'll answer it? Because that
Why
rather,
not?
you know, that will work. So and yes, we got quite a few people signed up yesterday. So
Cool.
yeah, this is a brave new world for me, Rod. But and without her, it wouldn't be happening. But there we are.
Yeah. Don't forget that almost square Uranus.
Yeah, no, no, that's right. Yes. Well, was it ever? Was it ever? She actually went live a couple of weeks ago. She went
Yeah.
live with I can't. Yeah, I think she went live just as Uranus was stationing. But because she's not an astrologer, it never occurred to her to ask me, should we do this on that day or that day?
Fun.
And of course, so I'm just riding the wave. Just let's,
I think so.
yes.
That
But
would be a
she's
good way
wonderful.
to.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And what it has done is we she's nearly doubled the number of people coming to the monthly class. Yeah. So the
Lovely.
next dose is a week on Sunday. February the
Okay.
23rd is the next one. And yeah, I'm going to have to, I mean, that's going to be a longer class than usual because there's just so much going on in the world for me
Wow.
to
So
go through.
looking forward to.
Yeah. And we're now within that now there's always going to be a 15-20 minute thing on cryptos. Or
Yeah.
that's going to be part of it. Yeah.
So,
So
wow. Yes.
right. Can I go
Well,
back to being
thank
on
you.
holiday?
Yes. Thank you for joining us today and really looking forward more video appear on YouTube with your new YouTube channel.
Thank you.
And enjoy your trip. And for everyone, see you next week. Bye bye.
Yes. Bye.
Here we are.